Yo, what's up guys, it's Superelectivire here, and I'm going to be bringing you some Showdown today. I have not done an NPT in a while. If you guys don't know, that stands for National Pokédex Teams, and basically where I make sets out of every single Pokemon, final evolution in the National Pokédex. There are exceptions such as Chansey and maybe Gligar that I might do, but other than that, this is what I'm sticking to. And today we'll be doing Charizard, so take a look at my team. So here we are at the team builder, and as you can see, this is number 6 in the Pokédex, my CharizardMegaY. And I name it CharizardMegaY just because of the fact that when people see Y, they automatically think, oh, it must be an X, because why would they tell the original? So it's like mind games, whether or not it's a Y or an X, and it's pretty funny, actually, because the mind games are always really fun, don't you think? But anyways, yeah, it's a solar power, because it is special attack. I don't expect any of that, but it's just a standard set right there. Donphan is this set, sturdy leftovers with Stealth Rock and Rapid Spin with knockoff support and Stab Earthquake. Starmie is my natural cure spinner with Rapid Spin, and then it's just my special attacker as well. It takes the burns, scalds, whatever. It's really awesome at that. It's actually one of my first times using Starmie, so excuse me. So it's actually really good. And then we've got Bisharp Choice Banded with Defiant, of course, and with Sucker Punch, Knockoff, Pursuit, and Iron Head. Goodra's actually running Assault Vest with Sap Sipper to take those grass type attacks for the team, because I do have 3 weaknesses, but I do have 2 other resistances. But you know, I prefer Sap Sipper on my Assault Vest. And Draco Meteor, Fire Blast, Sludge Bomb, Thunderbolt. They're all really awesome moves. And we've got Life Orb, Terrakion with Justify, with Close Combat, Stone Edge, Swords Dance, and Quick Attack. So, let's move on to the battle. Alright, so here's the actual battle. And let's go ahead and go. Just to warn you guys, this is actually a pretty long battle. Now, it is a replay, so you can just take a look at the timestamp on how long the actual video is. But it's a pretty decent battle, because it's basically stall. Now, it's also Weather Wars, if you take a look at the title. It's Weather Wars, because I am using Mega Charizard Y, as you guys know, and the opponent is using a Politoed for Drizzle, so it's a water team, whereas mine is just basically, it's not a sun team, but I do have sun, and that sun basically is very, very, how do I call this? It's very useful, I suppose, in getting rid of their rain, and in addition, with helping me use Solar Beam and stuff like that. So it really is, I really do need rain to get out of there and have my sun. So here we go. I'm on the other side, and I decided to play this at normal speed just so I could explain a bit more. But this guy is gonna lead with his expected Politoed, but I totally forgot Tentacruel gets Rapid Spin, so I was gonna send out this guy Suicide Stealth Rocks for his Dragonite. And if you look at his team, take a look. He's got 5 Stallish Pokemon. You got Unaware Quagsire, Bulky Tentacruel for Rapid Spin, Bulky Politoed, and Bulky Chansey with Eviolite. Eviolite, I think that's how you pronounce it. I say that every single one of my videos. Ferrothorn, which is also bulky for hazards, and Dragonite is multi-scale. What multi-scale does is when you're at full health, that one attack that hits you will do half the damage or something like that. So, very bulky team. I guess I'll just start explaining this battle now. Basically, I go into Charizard here just in case he switched, but he decides to go for the Rapid Spin instead, and he does have that Black Sludge, so he's going to go back to full HP, and here's where the Weather Wars start. I get my Solar Beam off just in case he switches to Politoed now, in order to get rid of the Sun, but he decides to just stay and go for Scald, and you know, Solar Beam's not doing too much, although it probably would have, because I predicted the switch there. He decides to go for Protect and Scout out what I'm going to do. I end up switching. I do have Thunderbolt, and he just has to stay in with Toxic Spike, since this guy's defense is like 110 or 120, so he can easily take that Thunderbolt with a 50% chance and still survive, get that Protect for that Black Sludge, and I go into Thunderbolt just in case he stayed in. Now, Quagsire was, of course, on my mind, but I wanted to get rid of this thing really bad, so because this thing, you'll notice throughout the rest of the video, it's very stallish, very annoying, so he does end up with 1 Toxic Spikes. Now my Draco Meteor is just going to completely take off 80% of his health, and he misses that Toxic, which was very instrumental in this entire game. Now, as you notice, my Donphan's practically dead anyways. My Bisharp is immune, my Charizard's flying, and my Starmie has natural fuel. So Goodra and Terrakion are the only ones that are really affected by Toxic Spikes. Now, okay, now, I stayed in for that Draco Meteor that last turn 14, for Draco Meteor because I wasn't sure what he was going to send in, so I did not think that Sludge Bomb was actually going to KO him from that range, because I did lose what are they even called? I lost 2 stages, I'll call them 2 stages of special attack, so I was not sure whether I would get that KO with Sludge Bomb, because I do not get stabbed from that, so I switch out, and this guy's just going to go in and get rid of my Rain. I go back into this guy because he could take that Toxic Spikes and not get poisoned. So, this is actually a Para song. I expected it to be a rest talk, but it's actually not. And I need to get rid of that Rain because, again, Weather Wars. As I basically try to force him out, I expected a switch because he does have that Para song going, but he actually doesn't switch. Wait, sorry guys. He actually does switch, but I go into this guy to get off that Rapid Spin. Now, I do have that Natural Cure, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and switch out soon because that Toxic didn't kill me, but I'm not going to die this turn, so it's totally fine. I do decide to switch out, though, and I sack my Donphan because I wasn't sure what to do, and it actually turned out to be a really good switch because now I have a ground against a Poison type, but I believe Tentacle is actually faster, so then I realized, oh no, I got to get out of there and save my Donphan for when I can sack him later. Now, he does get off that Wish on that Sushi, so that's kind of bad, because now he's got this annoying thing back at full health, so it comes back and again, and this is where things get kind of hacksy, because I paralyze him, but now my Fire Blast missed, so I would have preferred for Fire Blast to hit instead of that Thunderbolt, because that Stealth Rock really killed me, so yeah, I'm gonna assume it's physically defensive since he does have a lot of specially defensive guys on his team. So I'm gonna assume Ferrothorn and Quagsire are physically defensive. Now I go into my Terrakion and he will go into the Toxic, which is totally fine by me. Now I expect a Protect here, so I go for the Swords Dance. But he actually decides to switch and Protect on this turn that follows. I don't know why he didn't stall out the Toxic, but I mean I guess that works. So now he decides to Protect, and now I'm basically Toxic stalling myself. Now I know that, you know, it's not very good to lose this guy because I really need him for chances, so I decide to go for the close combat because I want to get rid of that Politoed really bad, but he knows that he needs to keep his Politoed, and he knows that close combat is coming after that Scouting on Protect, so he goes into his Dragonite now. Again, I told you he has multi-scale, so he does take, like, really good amount of damage, and he decides to go for the Roost to actually get his multi-scale back up. I go for the knockoff, get rid of his leftovers. As you can tell, he is running leftovers, so that means he is bulky now. The rain stops, so his Thunder probably won't hit, but I still switch out just in case. And I sack my Donphan. He decides to go into the Dragon Tail, which is, you know, it's a bulky spread, as you can tell. And I go for the Ice Beam. I expected him to switch, but he actually doesn't switch. I expected him to switch into Ferrothorn, but he actually didn't. And there goes his Dragonite. So now I can get off that Rapid Spin, get rid of that Stealth Rock, because as I said, I am basically running Weather War, so that Charizard is, you know, not going to appreciate Stealth Rocks, especially when I'm trying to get rid of his range. So I have Recover and I have Natural Cure, so I'm totally okay with the Tentacle being there. So I go for the Recover so that when I come back in, I will have decent health. And I decide to go into my Goodra to take anything he can send. He decides to switch out, doing a double switch, predicting something. I don't know what it was predicting, but probably Charizard. But I decided to go into this guy. Now, Thunderbolt actually does 50%, which is really good. He hits his Toxic this time, so now he decides to Toxic stall me at the least inconvenient time, or most inconvenient time, sorry. So, unfortunately, my Goodra is slowly losing health, and considering it actually has the ability to Sap Zipper as one of his abilities, that's kind of ironic. So, I really can't do anything to Chansey, and plus I need to get out of there before that poison decides to kill me. So, he actually is running Seismic Toss, which is a huge chunk of damage, doing 36.9%, and that's actually a lot. So, now I go into Seismic, he goes into Seismic Toss, sorry, but I need to get off that Roost. And actually, he keeps going with the Seismic Toss, but I know that I'm healing 50% while he's doing 33.7%, so I'm totally fine, but he actually runs Toxic, so that was really, really, really bad. and I need to get my HP as high as I can, and then I decide to go with a Focus Blast just to see how much it does, because I need if I could hit 2 Focus Blasts, then actually 3 Focus Blasts, then that's good. So now I basically need a Roost, but I need to switch out also because otherwise I'm gonna die from poisoning. So he actually decides to go into Soft Boiled because he thinks I'm the Roost, and I have no idea why, but he stays in to kill me, but he also loses his Violite, so that was a fatal mistake, because now my Focus Blast will kill him. So, but, you know, I knew he's gonna switch, and I need to heal anyways, because I need to keep this guy for that Focus Blast now that my Terrakion is practically dead, so I just do decide to go for the Roost. But I don't have Sun anymore, so Solar Beam can't hit very well, so he decides to go into Parasong, which is pretty decent. Pretty decent move, and my Goodra is still toxic. Of course, it doesn't carry Natural Cure, as you've seen from the team builder, but I go back into this guy because, again, Weather Wards, and this time he goes into his Chansey, so now is my chance. I go into Focus Blast, it hits, and now this guy is practically dead. Even if he Soft Boils, you know, or even if he wishes, or I expected to protect here, but he actually wants to just heal this guy, so I go into the Roost, because I didn't want to, I didn't want to, just in case he switched, I didn't want to take that chance, so he decides to go for the Parasong again, just to get me to switch my Charizard, which is, I guess it's a decent decision, but he decides to go into his Ferrothorn, and I just go with the Scald, because I need to get a burn on that Politoed, because that's how it's stalling out, and I just basically need to stall this guy out, so I switch into this guy as he goes into the Stealth Rock. I predict the Stealth Rock, but I know I can't switch into anything really, so he decides to go into his Politoed, but I just needed to go for the Fire Blast just in case he predicted me and switch in, because it's worth it to go into Fire Blast for that. Now it is under the rain, so that Skull's going to be doing a ton of damage, so I go into my Starmie because it can take a burn, but he decides to go into Parasong. Excuse me, like he's done like 4 times already, so I don't know. I think I misclicked on that recover, but that's okay. I meant to go for the stall, but that's totally fine. It didn't really affect anything. But yeah, so I go for the Rapid Spin because I need to get my Charizard back in the game, and Scald is actually doing a ton of damage. So parrying the next turn means I have to switch. We both have to switch. So now, what is he gonna send in? And I predict him going into his Tentacruel, and he decides to actually go into his Ferrothorn, which is totally fine because the rain's gone, so my Fire Blast is going to hit. So we have to switch out, go into Tentacruel now to take my Fire Blast. And he didn't want to go into his Politoed because then I would switch to Charizard, but, you know, he decides to go into Protect to stall out my Goodra because I am, remember, poisoned, so he decides to switch out now into his Ferrothorn to take another Thunderbolt as I die. I decided to just go with Draco Meteor as I die, but, you know, just to hit whatever he decides to switch into, because it would have hit 3 out of 4 in his Pokemon for decent damage, not really Ferrothorn, but still. This guy does not have Protect, so I go into close combat and get rid of this guy, his Ferrothorn, as I die from Iron Bark, but it doesn't matter, I would have died with him anyways. I expected him to switch, to be honest, but he does not. And now I switch into my Charizard, and now I'm at 2 Pokemon left, he's at 3 Pokemon left. He goes into the Protect, I don't know why, but, you know, there really was no reason to go for Protect, but now it's basically my job to get that burn, so, you know, I don't really like facing Stall, and this team was like a complete full-on Stall team, so it's a really long battle, and I really didn't like it, so I was like really nervous here, because I was not sure whether or not I could actually win this, so I basically needed a Scald burn, so I just kept going for Scald, and he decides to go for Toxic, but now I have to play carefully because, you know, my turns are limited, so I always have that Charizard for Natural Cure, and I predict that he goes for the Protect in order to stall out my poison, so I go for the Recover there, and now his Rain's gone, but I still need to get that burn, so remember his Chansey only has 3%, which is totally fine, but now I go into Charizard, he goes for the Parasong because he knows that I'm going to have to switch, and then he can KO my Charizard when he comes in, so now, now he goes for the Protect to stall that out, and I go into Solar Beam just in case he does not go for the Protect. And I really should have gone for the Roost there, but just in case he just went for the Scald, I just went for the Solar Beam. So we sent in his Tentacruel now, and I go for the Solar Beam now. And I'm gonna die next turn, so I have 6% left, and I'm gonna die next turn, so I have to switch into the Starly. And remember, the sun's still going on, so yeah. But he decides to go double switch into his Politoed because he knows I'm getting out of there. So yeah, Scald's gonna do more damage in the rain, of course, and he decides to go for the Toxic once again in order to stall me out. So, I hate stalls so much, but I really need that Scald burn. And at this point, I basically want to conserve my recovery keys as much as I can. But I really need that burn really bad. So, Scald doesn't burn, and he decides to go for the Parasong. Luckily, I did switch out, so I still have my Charizard available. So I can switch out when I'm about to die. And of course, I do still have Toxic Poisoning, so I decide to switch out that turn. Get that Drizzle right out of there, as he decides to switch out into his Tentacle. And I die right there from Toxic Poisoning. So now, it's 3 Pokemon against 1, and there's like no way I could win. But I don't like forfeiting until like I'm totally gonna win. But I go for the Scald, and guess what? I get that burn finally after like 10 turns. I actually don't know how many, but I'm already hitting turn 82 right now, and that Scald is able to finish him out, so he can't Toxic, nor can he go with the Parasong, so that's perfect. So now he still has his Tentacruel, and I go for the Scald. I believe I don't get the burn, but he does. I think so. He also gets the critical hit, which is really unlucky. But, oh, he doesn't get the burn, sorry. But yeah, when it's under the rain, he has Rain Dish, so he's actually healing really bad. Really bad. He's actually healing twice as fast. Now he gets the burn, I believe. So I really need that Scald burn on him because, yeah, I also need to stall out the rain, so this is a huge stall out battle. I basically have to recover, others I'm gonna die, and I can't just die there. So, luckily Burn doesn't have that extra damage. So as soon as I can get a burn on this guy, game's over basically, because Chansey can't do anything really. It's got 3%. Now his Violite's gone because he stayed in on my Fish Shark. So a Scald is easily going to be able to take him out. I believe I calculated actually, it's like 6%, 6 to 9%, low to high. So that burn officially finishes up the game. So this guy, being a staller as he is, he's going to forfeit. I don't have anything against people who use stall, but I do have something against people who use a who forfeit. So, I mean, I would prefer not to play stall, but it is a very valid, way to win games, so I suppose it's fine. But I would prefer if people don't use stall because, especially if you're laddering and stuff, like, stall is not a very good way to ladder. But it does, have its uses, and it does make people rage and stuff, so I don't know. He is named Mr. Troll, so he is being a troll as he, does this stuff, but this guy's officially dead, and he decides to forfeit, actually, after the switch. I don't know why he switched, but he honestly didn't have a choice, really. I decided to go into recover just to play it safe, but this guy does not have leftovers, or he doesn't have any item at all, so that Scald's easily, as I said before, going to take him out with that. Sorry guys, my computer is on that sleep mode. I like to conserve energy and stuff, but yeah. It's not very good when I'm not moving around my mouse doing these replays, which means that when we have this stallish battle like that, it, my screensaver thing goes on really quickly. So sorry about that, guys. But that was a 92 turn battle. I believe I've been in longer battles, but that's still an intense battle. Thank you so much, guys, for suffering through that weather stall with me. And I hope you guys enjoy this battle. Remember, I do have that 100 subscribers video, so definitely comment on there. Watch that video on what I should do next. Remember, I do have a couple of options. I have been uploading a ton of sweet versions, so definitely leave me comments. If you guys don't, I will be uploading probably next week or something, or 2 weeks from then. Just in case, I'm just waiting for your comments. I could probably upload today, but I want to hear your comments and let you guys watch through the entire couple episodes. And I can also start up a new Let's Play, but I'll leave you guys to watch that video. So thanks for watching. See you guys later. Please subscribe. Please like. Please comment. And that's it for Charizard Y. Thanks you guys so much for watching. I know it was a long video, but thank you. You can blame it on Mr. Troll there. See you guys later.